Brussels demands to have access to UK fishing waters post-Brexit has been branded nonsensical in an angry attack on the European Union. Paul Baldwin, head of comment at express.co.uk, has blasted the hypocrisy of the EU's state aid demands and mocked the bloc's pleas to continue to have access to the UK's fishing waters. He said Brussels cannot understand that the UK wants its sovereignty back. Speaking at the Blue Collar Conservatism Conference, Mr. Baldwin said, "The state aid issue baffles me because the EU wants that bit of us to remain in the EU. But if you look across the channel, Peugeot and Citroën are 40% state-owned, so how is that not state aid? It's so hypocritical, it's nonsensical. The fishing thing, because we're an island, it's totemic for us. It's a really important deal. Out of the perspective of its financial clout, the car industry is worth about £8.2 billion and fishing is about £1.2 billion, but that doesn't matter. It's about sovereignty, it's about our waters. The EU can't get its head around that." The Brexit divorce deal agreed last year must fully enter force and is a top priority for the bloc as it looks to forge a new relationship with Britain, the EU's chief Brexit negotiator said on Thursday. But Michael Gove has claimed Brussels is trying to worry British voters and politicians. During the conference, he said, "One of the things about these negotiations is that the EU has this sort of kidology approach. They try to use tactics to make voters in Britain and British politicians worried. I think one of the reasons they're coming out with this now is because they know that in these negotiations we have stood firm throughout. They're trying to say to EU politicians, the Brits are wobbling on this, we're not. The thing about all these negotiations is when the EU were talking about us making concessions, they're the ones who are making concessions." He added, "The Prime Minister was perfectly clear that we were prepared to be criticised by everyone in order to safeguard the UK and to deliver Brexit. The SW1 bubble were all criticising the Prime Minister, but I think people across the country, certainly my family and friends, thank heavens Boris is standing up. The whole point of the internal market bill is to say to the EU, look, you have not been playing fair.